Hi there everyone, welcome back to the channel. So in this video we are going to see top 5 React best practices for beginners. So without any delay, let's begin. So as we all know that React is an amazing UI library. So the goal with this video is to show top 5 beginner friendly tips to the React beginners in order to improve their React code performance. So let's start with the first tip, and here as you can see that I have created this minimize component, and here you can see that I have created two state in this component. The first state is for username and then the second state is for password. So one of the thing that beginner tends to do is they try to create as much state as possible inside their component in order to keep track of their data, and which is good. Basically state is for tracking the data, but one bad thing that is going to do here is reduce the performance of your React code, because as you we all know that whenever the state changes, the React component gets re-rendered, and re-rendering the component is expensive in React. So we need to try to minimize the number of state we use inside the React. So here we have used two state, and now what we can do is we can reduce this two state into one single state. So let me show you here. Basically I'm going to create a user state here, and then I'm going to write it as set user, and I'm simply going to say use state. And here instead of writing username and password and creating two different state for one single user, I basically created a user state itself, and here I'm going to create an object which is basically going to contain the name of the user, which is John, and then the second value is going to contain the password, or the second key basically is going to contain the password, which is basically going to have the password of the user. So by doing so we reduced the number of states. So here we actually used two states inside this component, and now we are using only one state. So by doing so we basically improved or enhanced the performance of this component, which is a minimized component. Now let us look at the second tip. So in the second tip, as you can see that I have this products array, and here I am looping through this product, and then I am passing index as the key here. So which is a bad practice again. So let's just say that this t-shirt which is of index 0, and now it is getting key as 0, and let's just say the user tries to delete this t-shirt, and now the 0 index t-shirt is gone, and now the shirt is coming to be here, and then the index of the shirt is going to change from 1 to 0. But earlier, as we all know that the key of this shirt was 1, and now it suddenly changed to 0, so which is going to create mess inside your component. So there is a better way of doing that. So let me show you here. So I'm going to write it as better products, basically, because well this is a better way of doing it. So here I'm simply going to create an array, and here I'm going to initialize an object, or I'm going to create an object, and I'm simply going to name the product, which is a t-shirt, and I'm going to give a unique ID to this product. Let's just say this ID is going to be 123, and then similarly I'm going to create multiple product with such multiple objects, and each product is going to have its own unique ID. Here I'm going to give 456. Here let's just say I'm giving it as 789. So you don't need to create this unique ID manually. You can use some of the unique ID generator like UUID. You can go to the npm and search UUID, and you're going to get this, and then with the help of UUID you can basically generate a unique ID to your unique product. And here instead of writing index, what you can do is you can remove it, and here instead of passing index as in key, you can simply say product.id, and here you can simply say product.name. So this is how you're going to improve your React component. So now let us move towards the third tip. So this is the thing. Let's just say this is a user component which is a child component, and there is a parent component which is passing props, which is a details about the user. And let's just say you want to display the name, so beginners simply try to write props here, and then they try to do props.name, which is totally fine, but there is another way of doing that. You can actually destructure your props here itself, and basically you are going to get the name of your user, email of your user, right? And then you can simply write here directly, like let's just say you want to display the name, and you can simply write name. So I made a typo here. And then let's just say you want to display email, you can simply come and write email directly here. So this is another way of restructuring which you can do, right? And it is going to make your code more clean and readable. And then we are done with the 3 tips. Now let me show you the 4 tips. Here we all know that every React component returns JSX, and we return all those JSX wrapped inside the div, which is kind of a bad way to do, because let's just say you're working in a huge React project and it is having huge multiple number of components, and each components is returning div, right? So it is going to create burden inside the DOM because they need to rearrange with respect to div. So what we can do is basically we simply can remove this div here, and we can simply return fragment. So this is known as fragment in React, and then it is going to basically reduce the burden inside your DOM, and it is going to help you improve the performance of your component. So this was the 4th tip, and now let's just move with the 5th and the final tip. Here as you can see that I have this again product array, and basically I'm trying to display all the products. So one way of doing this is product with respect to index like 0 1 2 3, and in that way I can well display all the product. But this is kind of a bad way. What I can do basically is I can remove all this, and I can simply loop here using products.map. So map is basically a higher order function, and it is going to loop through all the product, and it is going to give us that product. And I can simply, like, what I can do is I can cut this div, and then I can basically paste it out here, and instead of writing product 0 1 and 2, I can simply write product, and I'm going to get all the product. Here I need to pass the key, and as I told you that passing key as an index is a bad practice. So what you can do is you can convert this array of product into something like that, and you can assign unique ID to each of your product, and you can pass key as a product ID. So alright guys, this was the 5 best practices for React beginner. I hope you like this video. Thank you so much for watching this, and please hit like to this video and subscribe to this channel if you are interested in learning web development and want to stay updated with the latest web development trends.